So this is Heather from the Unique Scrapbook Store doing an in-person class and recording this video at the same time for those that couldn't make the class. And what we are working on is the Vintage Artistry Tranquility quad album. Say that 10 times fast. And that is this kit right here. Those of you that are taking the class have we've already reviewed how to put the actual folio together, and that is recorded in our Facebook Live group. So what we are going to do, so you have the cluster kit. I've put the envelope away somewhere, but the tall cluster kit with a whole bunch of pieces in there that needed to be punched out and ready. And what I do is I group them into leaves and flowers and tickets and butterflies and so forth, you know, so that it's easier to find the pieces. Out of the cluster kit, we are actually going to make this window, and we'll do it together on the live here. And so we're going to assemble this. We're going to put it aside. We're not going to put it on the cover until at the end, because it's just bulky and it just adds too much while we're trying to do the inside of the album. So in your pack of 6x8 papers, there is a sheet of cutouts that you do need to cut out. And if you pile them separately, whoops, I'm dropping mine on the floor. If you pile them separately like this, I will refer to those ones as the cutout sheet. When we are assembling, so to try and make it a little easier for reference. You also have your pack. I'm going to move this out of the way. You also have your pack, so you have your 6x8 paper, you've got your cluster kit all cut out, and then you have your pack of file folders. All of these, the pockets and the file folders, so we're going to put that aside for now. But from that packaging, you have this piece. And this is going to be part of your cover. So the first thing we want to do is we want to cut off that top flap. You girls ready? So we're going to cut that top flap off of there and get it out of the way. And we cut it right on that crease. So we end up with a piece like this. Then the next piece we need is this piece here. So it's got this teal flower on the right side, it's got the butterfly on the left, and it's got this pretty pink pattern on the back. But what we need to do is we want to create a little insert along this flower that we can tuck the window under, so it looks like the flower's on top of the window. So what you are going to do, why is it when you start these, you need so much room? So I'm taking a blade and I'm going to bring this mat over. There's a couple of times that we're going to be doing this. I normally use my fingertip knife, but I am at the store, and so I don't have my fingertip knife here, so I'm using an X-Acto to get it started. Are you okay, ladies? Okay, so we're going to cut on the left side of the flower down to, oops. Yeah, I'm not used to using an X-Acto. So I'm going to just follow the flower the best I can, and then if I can finish it up with my scissors. And then I'm just going to poke that. And when we go to tuck the window in, we'll be able to see if we need to trim a little bit more. Okay, now you can distress the edge of that flower if you want. Can you guys see? Oops, a piece of tape. All the way to the edge of the paper, just the edge of the blue flower. Just to the stem of the flower. So let me just show you here. So I started where the pink is,
Okay.
and I've gone around almost to the stem. Now, if you don't want to see those white edges, you can ink the edge of your flower that's sticking up. I always find when I fussy cut or do this kind of trimming, I don't like to actually see that white edge. So it's nice to just get in there. I am using this. Typically I use my little detail brushes because I don't like to get any of the ink where I don't want it. So once we have that piece cut, I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to
You know what?
we are now going to do this assembly of this section here. All of the pieces for this one are in that cluster kit. So I'll pull them out, put them aside so that you can see which ones we're going to use. We're going to use this card. So it's got the flowers on the bottom. You know, I think I need to take this off because it's rattling an awful lot. You guys to hear that rattle, rattle, rattle all day. Here we go. Okay, we are using this large cluster of flowers. So they're the blue, tealy blue, teal, my favorite color. We are going to use a cluster of leaves. So these ones, I mean, you can use any of them, but I like these ones here. I think these may have been the ones I used on the other album. They may not be. It may be a darker one, but it doesn't matter. We're going to use that particular one. We have, and all of these pieces are in the cluster kit. We have the little bow. We have, whoops, we have this little green butterfly. This is going to be going down in this corner. We have this little tag with the little pink diagonal stripes on it. We have the window. And then we have, where did I put them? We have the tickets, these tickets here that I have lost. See, even when I tell you not to lose things, Heather loses things. Where would I have put them? I had them. And this Magical Moments circle, which is the chipboard piece. And if you want to wait to pop that out, because it is sticky and when it'll just be ready when we're ready to pop it down. And then we have one more butterfly here, which I think is the one that I'm missing. So I will find it later. Sometimes you have to go back afterwards and find those little pieces because they get tucked in with other stuff, even when you do separate them all. This one has got a little bit more teal in it. I'm just going to use this green one, and then when I find the other one, I'll use the other one somewhere else. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. So we want to build up this window first. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this background index card. Are you guys okay? I'll give you a minute to find the piece. Yours is done, yeah.
I'm searching for all those pieces. Couldn't figure out why I couldn't find them.
Are you ready, Jackie? You got all your pieces?
I think so.
Okay, so we have this piece here. And the first thing we want to do is we want to stick these flowers down in the background. Now try to get an idea of where you want them exactly, because this window's going to go on top. So I kind of like my flower hanging over a bit off the edge of the card. Now remember, this is going to be attached to our other piece, so don't worry about that hanging off. And just to give me an idea of about where I want it. And so I didn't find those tickets. Oh, this might be them. This isn't them either, but I'm going to, so the tickets are the ones they've got 762 on the top of them. Honestly, I had mine right here. I had it all piled nicely. 762. So I am just going to cut off one of these, and the minute I do this, I will find the other one. Okay, so let's glue that flower down onto this background first. So I am using the Art Glitter Glue with the tip on it because that allows me to get into those fine areas when the glue is flowing. So let's put those pieces, or glue on the back of these pieces. Like that. Flip it over, and we're going to stick that down right on here and have that flower off the edge a bit. Actually, I like both flowers off the edge a little bit like that. This is your personal preference, how you prefer to have them lay. Okay, so we also have this little tab piece, and we can stick that. You know what? Let's wait to put that piece down until we attach it to the paper. So I think and same with your ticket, they're going to get attached once we put it onto the paper. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put foam tape on the back of your window so that it is raised. So I'm just going to take some of these, cut them in half. Now, when I did the first album, I didn't put tape all the way around, and I'm kind of sorry because it's kind of flat in the middle. So if you have the foam strips, they're great to use all along. Otherwise, just use, you know, a bunch of your, just use your foam dots. Cut these ones in half and put them all the way around. Now, the ladies that are here today are going to be my guide for how fast I should go, which is great. Nice to have in person. Just for that reason alone, it's worth its weight in gold. So I am putting them all the way around. Get some good coverage. I also want to put some on the actual, what do you call those? They're not slats, they're the framework on the inside. What do you call that? The frame? It's just part of the frame. There is a word for it, but I can't think of what it is. I'm just going to put a couple of those here and there, just through that center piece. And then we want to pop that up onto this piece that has the flowers on it. So I'm going to move those over like this. Because this is your focal point on the front of your cover, you know, having this popped up nicely it's a good idea. Except it's all sticking on my fingers. Stick down there. Oh my goodness. Just wants to stick to my fingers and not to my paper. There we go. Okay, I've Got them all done. Those center ones. And the darker part, that's the bottom of your frame. So we want to stick that down on the top of that card. Now we want to cover this bottom edge here. So have your frame down to that point. And then a little bit more of the pink up at the top. Okay, so once we've got that on there, we want to take this background piece that we cut out the flower, and what we're going to do now is we are going to take this piece, and you can see how we're going to tuck that in so that flower is sticking up here. Now, before we actually glue that down, we want to measure where we want to have those tickets that we have. So I have a ticket there, and we've got that little tabbed piece here, and we're going to stick that in there.
Can't touch this.
I didn't touch it.
Yeah, you did. You must have thrown something on it.
No. So it's going to look like that. So once you know where the placement is of this ticket that you have, you can glue that one down. So then you've got your spacing. This tip is not going to work for me today. It needs to be cleaned with some good hot water. And I'm going to stick a ticket there. And then I'm going to put this little tabbed piece under here. If you want to save half of that tab to use somewhere else, just cut it off and just use a little piece of it instead. And tuck it under your edge of your window there. The other piece we want to stick underneath would be your leaves, your second set of leaves. So you don't want to cover up your ticket, so I'm going to kind of put them down here. So I've still got these leaves showing, and I've got these leaves here. So I'm going to tuck those in. Oops. And that will be like that. Now I'm going to slide this piece out, and I'm going to glue it down. Now I have the placement of my other pieces that are behind it. And slide it in there. Perfect. We then want to attach that little butterfly, and if you want, you can sort of curl the wings up so it has a little bit more dimension, and just actually put glue through the body part like that, and then attach it there. The wings are not glued down. We've got the bow, so we can place the bow, and again I'm only putting glue in the center of that bow and attaching it to the window. And then we want this magical moment piece chipboard. It is it does have stickiness, or it is a sticker on the back. However, I always add some glue to it, especially when it's on the front cover, because they end up falling off. And put that up a bit, covering part of your bow. And then we'll add that last butterfly on this side up here. just like that. And that's the cover done. So pretty. Almost done. We've got the gingham from your packaging, and that whole thing is going to go centered on that gingham piece. This gingham piece at the end will be attached to the front here. Now, before you glue this piece down, check to make sure that this is going to fit. I need to trim mine off on the top section. Oops. Take my cutter and
Goes that way.
the flap is on your right hand side and it flips open this way. We're not gluing it down yet, but we just want to measure to make sure. So you don't want to get everything glued on there and then have to try and trim it down later. So that's a little better for me. So I can glue that onto the front of this piece. And I'll be all set with my cover. I'm going to put it aside after that. There. So pretty. Inking this shiny paper, it rubs off, so I didn't. You can try if you want, you know, to go around a little bit. I'm using Stormy Sky. Janine from 49 and Market used Iced Spruce, and the girls here are using a Pink Fresh Rocky Slope, is it called? So, you know, just pick a color that you think you like. I've just darkened the edges just a little bit with that. And then that page is done. We're going to move it aside. To bring these papers down. And you can also follow along with your instruction sheets if you like, if that helps you with the pictures. And then we're going to start on our album, and we're going to be starting on the left-hand side. I'll give you guys a chance to catch up there. I'm going to put that aside. Take this one. Because it does take a little bit to get all your pieces together. And you know, we love the fact that 49 and Market gives us so much stuff until you try to do a folio and then it's like, oh my gosh, so many pieces to sort through. But that's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to do all of our base pages first, and then we will be going back in and adding all of the little flourishes on there. And you can follow it exactly like the pictures. You can do your own thing. That is totally up to you. And as soon as you girls are ready, then we'll get on to the next section. So I will, is it coming off? Okay, so on this section here, on the left side, we'll just wait another second. We'll pull out all of our 6x8 papers first. And this side opens this way with the flap opening from the right over to the left. So it goes this way. And then it opens this way. So from the left to the right. All right? So let's just, I think it's best we just pile our papers for that section. So the first paper we want is the one that's, looks like this, but the butterflies are on the left, not the right. So let's find that one. It's got this green diamond type plaid on the back, and your butterflies are on the left. So that, just flip it over, that's going to be on that piece. The next piece we want has got a gingham on the back. If you need to, you can just flip this way. And it's this one with these two flowers, but it's the gingham. We're actually going to be using 2 of those, so take those 2 out. Flip them over. And then the last piece we need for this section, actually, well, for that opened section, is the one with the, it's got some, find it here. Bear with me. I will find it. Hello. So I'm just trying to find it. It's got the green, here, it's this piece right here. So on the back, it's got the frame and the little flowers on the bottom. On the front, this is the section that we're using. It's got a green splatter. It's got some peachy color there. And that's the side that we're going to be using. So we'll put that one aside. Okay. The next page for this section has got a blue rose in the bottom right corner. So we'll find that one. Looks like this. And it has this green stripe on the back. Sometimes it's easier to tell by the back section because the flowers all start to look the same after a while. And so we want that piece. Then we have, it's like a wood plank. And we have 2 of those that we're going to use. So they've got a pinky color on the back, and they are going to go like this. We're actually going to have one kind of turned upside down to the other one so that we have those flowers on the edges. You're not going to notice it because the only place you're going to see where the words are upside down is down here, and we'll be covering that with a mat. Now, I did not mention about doing the mats. But there's a couple of places where we'll have to judge. I do have paper in here that we can use and just cut some of those. So that's what we need now for that left section. So let's put the rest of your 6x8 paper aside and we will start to build. So opening up to this front piece here, we are going to be putting this butterfly paper down. We don't need to do any trimming on there at all. So you can ink your edges and we can stick that down. Let's get that done.
That's the one that opens to the left.
It's going to open to the left. Inking is totally optional. So this color works well. Wasn't sure how this color was going to work with it, but the Stormy Sky does work well. And when you go to stick this down, just, you know, where your creases are, just have it flat so that you can really get your glue stuck on there. Oops. And that is going on centered. Like that. Whoops, sliding off there. Now, out of your cluster kit, there is another window. Wasn't this one? Oh, I switched it around. We should have used, it doesn't matter, we should have used the chipboard one on the front cover, but we didn't. We're going to use now the chipboard one on here. But we want to have a mat inside there first so that we can stick it down. And what you're going to want to do is, this is sticky. You can take some undo and unglue the bottom portion if you want to just add your mat in there later. And I used the wrong paper, see? Do as I say, not as I do. You guys have it right.
Oh,
Butterflies on the left. I mean, really, I could switch it, but I'm going to. I had that one out, and then, hey, if someone's going to make a mistake doing this, it's going to be me. You know what? I'm going to leave it down. I'm just going to work from the opposite side, ladies. Okay, so your butterfly is on the left-hand side. Mine is on the right. We're then going to take that frame and that frame is going to be over to the side. Now it should be far enough over with your butterflies that it's basically, yeah, this frame's a little bit bigger than the one we put on the front.
I used the chipboard one at the front.
Did you? Yeah, yeah. So if you haven't gotten this far, you can use the chipboard one on the front. This one's a little bit bigger. So, that's all good. I should have thought about that because it was the whole cluster kit that you're using. So when we edit the video, we will put a note of that on there. And then you're going to take one of the little flowers that you fussy cut. This little pink one here is going to go in the corner along with one of the little chipboard hearts right there. And we're going to put the words "Live this memory" over and over again along the bottom there. And we're going to tuck that in there. Tuck that little flower on the edge there. And the little heart that I popped out. Right there. And again, on these sticky pieces, I still put a little bit of glue on there. Okay, so once we have that piece done, we're going to flip it over to your left side, which is the back of where you just put that window. And you're looking for this part out of your envelope pack. It's got a slit in it, and there's a place to fold over. I love these. So they're going to fold over. Now what you can do is get your score tape on there and get it ready to attach. On there, on there. So that's going to get attached onto here, but we want to add in one of that green checkered pieces first into the background. So that piece is going to go on like this, and then this is going to go on top of that. Ink your edges. There we go. I mean, if you really wanted to save paper, you know, you could cut around, but it's, you know, I don't do that. I'm just going to put that whole piece down on there. Hold on before you stick that down. Why does that one look really blue? Is it because I just did blue on there? I guess. There isn't another checkered one in there, is there? Just want to be sure. You know, it's one of those optical illusions. Well, I can't tell on this one. So I think there's only that one checker, but my eyes today are showing it as being bluey. And there it looks so greeny. I think once the top part goes on, yeah, I just want to be sure before we stick it down. Okay, so that piece is going to be stuck down, centered on there. And you know what? I think because I inked the edges with blue, it's really bringing out a blue tone in it. But we don't want... And honestly, you know, all the papers work together, so... Okay, so once you have that stuck down, now on these pockets I always use score tape and liquid glue because it allows you, if it's off kilter, it allows you the time to move it around. Now that open edge of the folder, you can ink that up as well if you like. Oops. And I'll put some glue there as well. And then I stick down one side first and then the other, just to be sure I'm lined up. So I'm sticking down the bottom, lining that edge up. Oops, off camera. There we go. And then that top part, or the left side. And that's all there is on that page. And once that page is done, we're going to open up to that center. And you want that page that's got those multicolors like that. And we're going to stick that down. And the darkest part I've got at the bottom. And line that up. Oops.
Do you score tape on all of your pages, or do you just do glue and line?
I just glue these pages down. Anything that's got like folds or whatever, and I really need to be careful trying to line things up, I use both. I will tell you over time, if you're just using score tape, it shrinks and it comes out, it ends up being almost like a tissue paper.
Yeah, I don't use just.
Yeah, and I love score tape, but if it's something long term, you want to use both. Exactly. So we have a little tiny butterfly. Some of these we're going to go back and add all the embellishments later, but you know, these pieces aren't too bad, so we can do them. Actually, let's do the other pages first, and then we'll add the heavy embellishments, but you can add your little butterfly up in the top left. Get that out of the way, and then we'll come back, because it's going to make it too bulky if we add all the different layers in there right now. So we'll get our bases done. And then you're going to go right over to the far side. You're going to use your other gingham paper. That's going to be going down. And you have another pocket that has these flowers on it, and it's got a little stamp in the bottom, so it's the opposite direction. And again, we're going to fold over, ink all those pieces. I like the fact that, you know, you can stick things in that little slot there, or you can tuck things into that pocket section. Makes it kind of fun. Dan. Psst. Speak. Can you slide my bag over right here? I need to get some paper out of it, and then I'll get you to give some to the girls, so that they can do there's some areas where they need to do their mats. This is the problem with, you know, working here and not being at home, is everything isn't just right there. And then I've got a microphone attached to me, so I'm not allowed, I told them not allowed to move. Here, Dan. That's for the girls. We're using Nina paper. When I'm doing mats like that, like if you're making this for someone and you're not putting the photos in, you want to at least show them where to put pictures. I buy a huge pack of paper. It's not photocopy paper, it's a little bit thicker, from Staples. And I use that for cutting for all my mats, and then I just have a whole bunch of them ready to go. Today we're using Nina paper. And that's okay. So this page, now when you attach your pages in, you always want to make sure that you can still fold over. You don't want it to interfere with your creases there. And you know, you're holding white against white. It's so hard sometimes to see that you're lined up unless you hold your page up a bit, and then you can see, maybe, there we go, lined up, drop her down. I'm going to put my score tape along there. Isn't that something?
Much pinker and yeah.
It is funny. I don't like the fact that my picture's up in that corner. I prefer to stay in the background.
Nobody's looking up your picture.
Yeah, I bet they are.
I asked Dan earlier if he wanted us to clap at the right times. Like he wouldn't know.
Oh my gosh. Well,
He needs to get the
Dress My
dogs
Crafts,
in.
when Dress My Crafts, when they're doing like the shows, and you know, the woman who's doing the layout or whatever, when she does something, all the ladies in the back, yay, they all clap for her, and it's so cute. It's so respectful. So I expect that you guys are going to clap for me at every page. Okay, so again, I start with my bottom and I line that up against the bottom of that paper, and then it allows me to come up and get that piece secure. On this album, for all my back pages, I am using this really wide We Are Memory Keepers bone folder, which is great for making sure that glue has spread everywhere. So we will come back to this area here after we finish the other pages in this section. Okay. And once that page is done, we're going to flip over to this side. And we want the piece with the roses is going to be going there. Like that. Okay. And we're going to come back to add the decor on there. Now we're going to flip over again. And that's where we have these two pages. Now remember I said one page is going to be this way. Let me go slide this along like this. And the other side is going to have your roses on this side here. So again, you can see if I added all that bulk on there, I wouldn't be able to get this so flat. You know, just makes a little bit more work of it. And you also want to be sure that you are, you know, within those guidelines of the crease. So ink up your edges, and we'll drop that one down. Actually, don't put it down yet. We're going to do some little slits in here. So let's ink it up. And then I will show you where to cut. Cut away, cut away. So for these two, because we're going to cut them, I'm going to have you cut some mats so we can place them and know that they're going to tuck into those flowers. So the first mat, how big is that mat? Dan, I need a ruler, please. It's nice he's told me I can't get up because he's got to do all the running for me. So for sure we need 2 3x4s mats. And then the other, I can tell what the other one is when I cut these 2 3x4s. It's a 3x4. So it looks like it's about 3.5 by 4.5. So 2 3x4s and a 3.5 by 4.5. There we go. And we'll put that paper aside. Oops. I'm going to slide that cutting mat over. So the one with the flowers, the roses on the left, we're going to do some cutting into that. Thank you, sir. The more pieces you add to the table, the smaller the table gets. So we want to be able, that 3.5 by 4.5, we're going to tuck in onto this left, or sorry, the right side. So we want to trim out this leaf down here. Oh, this blade is terrible. Get me started in there. We're trimming that one out like that. And then not the very top flower, the next one down. We're going to trim around that one. There we go. And now I'm going to stick my paper in just to see if that's good for what I want to do, and it's perfect. So I'm going to ink those cut edges first.
Is that the bigger frame?
Yes, the
bigger
3.5
box,
by 4.5. Yep. Just going to ink those little edges of those flowers. Just I don't like that white raw edge showing. And I'm actually going to slide the mat in there. Before I glue it down, I'm going to take this ticket here and I want to tuck it in behind that frame. So I know whereabouts I want it. Then I can stick my mat down. All the albums I've done, and none of them have pictures in them. And that's why we ended up selling them at our auction we had.
I haven't put a lot of pictures in mine yet, but
Move that out of the way for a second. So there isn't anything bulky on this side, so we will finish the decorating on this one. So we can stick it in our book and then we'll put those other little pieces on. So this one is again going on that side right here. And I love the fact that these folios all have this, you know, this gusset in here that if you're adding a lot of stuff, you've got the room for it. So I'm going to center that. There we go. And I'm going to stick that page down. Oops. Some glue on that side. You can stick your little flower down and your leaf if you want, or you can leave it free-flowing until the photo actually goes in there. And then we need this butterfly circle, and we have this big, well, I don't know what flower it is, but it looks like cotton to me, except it's a little taller than the cotton fields. So we're going to put that down on there. Like that. And then this piece was cut out of your 6x8 paper. And I'm just sticking that down in the bottom, right there. Yeah, there's a couple of different sizes. This is the bigger one. Yeah. This is all on the left side, and we'll wait for you guys to catch up. Just trying to figure out what flowers I used on the next side. When you guys are finished that side, let me know. You're good? Okay. I think I'm missing some leaves. So for this side here, we've got to do some cutting as well. So what we want to do on this side, we are going to have this little file pocket. We're going to have our 2 3x4 frames that we're going to tuck in. We also have this little flower, and this was cut off the 6x8. It's got the gingham on the back. And then these leaves are out of your cluster kit. We need to trim this leaf up here. It's a very light leaf. And we are going to trim around this one to tuck the envelope in. Okay, so this leaf, I think, yes, they are. Exact same ones that we trimmed on the other side. That. There we go. Typically, I wouldn't have to get in there with these scissors, but I do. That one's up, and this one. Now, just remember that your flowers are on the right-hand side this time. We're going to ink those edges. And we want to take that pocket and fold those edges over. That. And I always fold those sides over first and that part over, because then it holds it all nicely together for me.
And your paper doesn't get stuck going down.
Exactly. And then this piece is going to be stuck under that flower, so just measure it first to see if you've got enough room there to get it in. And if not, just trim it a little bit. Remember, flowers on the right, or roses on the right. And then, oops, I'll put my glue on there. Tuck that in. Oops, there we go. My eyes just don't want to see straight. And now I really give that envelope a good crease. And we're going to, your first 3x4 card is going to sort of be tucked underneath that flower, or sorry, that leaf. So I didn't stick the 3x4 down, but I did add glue to my leaf, just lightly to tuck it in there. The second one you do Don't stick it down, especially if you're giving it to someone. So you can leave that loose, and then I'll explain to you with the leaves what we'll do. This rose here that we cut from the 6x8, you're going to stick it over to the side, but don't attach it to your mat. Just attach it in the big section of the rose in the center. But it's overhanging onto that 3x4 mat. We're going to take these leaves, and we want to kind of make it look like those leaves are also coming out of the envelope. So you can attach it like this. Don't attach those two loose ones to your 3x4 card. Just attach a little bit of that stem to the envelope and then the rest of the leaves coming down. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm just putting a little bit of glue along that stem right there. I'm tucking in that loose edge under there like that. Just so it looks like it's also growing out of your envelope. That's all we're going to need on that one. Then it can be stuck down in your book. Just like that.
File pieces just add a whole new.
Oh, I know. They're so beautiful. Yeah, I love these file pockets. Just, this line just keeps getting better and better and better. So that's our left side done. We'll come back and actually, this isn't going to interfere with anything, so that piece we'll wait. We will wait. So we're going to move on to this middle section that opens like this. And I will tell you what papers we need. Close that side up. So this is again going from the right side flipping to the left. This side is flipping to the right. And then we've got our middle section. So the papers we're going to need for this one are it's got a fair amount of green. Where would that one be? That one? Bear with me, I try and find it. It's not that one. It's this one here. So again, with this flower on the side, these leaves, and it's that dark pink color on the back. So we are using that one. We are using these two pieces here, except, nope, 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 it's not that piece. Wrong piece. Keep looking. Hold on, there's another one. Some of them look so similar.
One that's green and one that's kind of blue.
Yeah, there's one that's got the little postcard up in the top right. That's the, so we do want this one. It's got that little postcard on the left, and it's sort of whitish on the back. So it, see it with the little flower in the postcard? Okay, so there's another one that's got that little postcard, but it's up in the top right. And we want that one as well. It's actually from the back cover, yeah, or front cover. So we want those two pieces, okay? Then we want another one of them with the postcard on the left. Another one of those ones.
That's the one. Thanks, thank you.
And then there's another one with the postcard on the left. So we have, let me see here, or did I flip the same one twice? One on the left, one on the left, one on the left. So 3 of them with the postcard on the left.
3 of them.
Yeah, all 3 papers. Find it. There it is. All right. And we'll put the rest of those papers aside. We want to cut, because we've got to cut into these papers again, you want 2 3x4 square mats. Those are 2 3x4 mats, and then we want 3.5 by 4.5, and we're going to need 1, 2, 3 of them, 3.5 by 4.5. My mat's up there. Okay. So we're going to start with that outside edge first, which has that red corally color on the back. That's going to be on this front section here, but we'll have some trimming to do. Okay, so on this piece here, we need to cut around this butterfly on the right side, we need to trim this left side of this flower, and we need to cut up into this leaf here. I'll move that to the side, and we'll do that. So, and there goes the ruler. You would think as we're working I'm getting more room, but I'm getting less room on the table. So the right side of the butterfly, like that.
Just a tiny little bit of the butterfly?
Yes, the right, yeah, down to the top of where that little piece of paper is. So we're just going to add the edge of the envelope pocket there. Okay, so I've got the part of the flower, part of the leaf, and the part of the butterfly. And we're going to use another one of those teal envelopes. Put my score tape. Sometimes I think my bag has too many pockets. And you can't find anything. It's like my cupboards at home, in my craft room. So many of them I can't find my stuff half the time. I know I've got a small bone folder in there and I can find it. Okay, so we're folding these pockets over. Taking off my tape so that I can add it to the front in between that area that we put the slits in. And folding them over. Add some glue. Now this piece we want to tuck under there, like that. We have those two little 3x4 pieces, and one is going to get tucked underneath that flower, like that, and one is going to get tucked underneath the butterfly, like that. couple of embellishments we're going to add on this one now, and then we're going to come back to it. One of them is I just pulled it out, this little flower. So it's got pink flowers, it's got these blue flowers, and it's got what I call cotton, but it's not cotton. We'll pretend it's cotton. And we have a little blue butterfly that we're going to attach up here as well. Which one? It is blue. I'm so glad I had all of this sorted. I can't find that butterfly. Move that back that way. It's a dark blue butterfly that I'm looking for. It's not that one. It's not that one. It is this one, and again, it was cut from the 6x8 paper. This one I will ink the edges. And we're going to tuck that one up at the top here. And we're going to situate this so that it's kind of just, again, sticking out of the pocket. So really, you only want to put a little bit of glue on the bottom here and along the bottom here, just to hold it against the envelope, just like that. And tuck it in. Then we can stick this, whoops, into our album. And that is your top page. And remember, this is flipping to the right. When you glue your back, you want to avoid those areas with those mats are, because you want to take them out to add photos. If you glue them down, you're not going to be able to get them out. And this is going to the front page, like that. Opens from the right, open to the left. We have a ticket and a little close peg to add. We will do that after. Let me know when you guys are done that. Okay, the next page, which is going to be on the back of that one you just did, has that little postage stamp up in the top right. It's the one that was the cover page. Ink around. We have to do a little cut on this one, not a big one. And we're just going to cut where that little blue stamp is, just in that edge. Actually, you'll cut a little bit of the brown area too. And then down that postage. Just like that. Oops. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to tuck a mat in there.
Did you trim these pages at all? Because they're exactly the same size as the pages, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's no outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Do you know, I think I'm going to trim a little bit of the butterfly wing on that corner too. Just I don't like it sticking underneath the mat. So let's do that. That way and that way. There we go. Now that makes me happy. And then I'm going to tuck my mat in there. We've got a big flower that we're going to attach to the bottom. So put it about like 1.5 inches maybe from the top, your mat. This mat you can stick down because it's easy enough to stick your photo on there after. And the flowers that we're sticking down, there's 2 really, really big rose ones. This is the smaller of the 2 rose ones. It's got a full rose and a bud. And then this was cut from your 6x8 paper. It's a blue rose. And we're going to attach them. Again, you know, it's overlapping on your mat. So only put glue on the bottom half so that your photo can still be tucked in there. And that's going down. And then this rose, blue rose, I'm attaching at the base of that large cluster. Right in there. And then that can be glued in on the back of the first page we did in the center. Oops. If these pages on the left are in your way, flip them out so it gives you a flatter surface to work with. I find they get in my way. Like that. You okay? From there, we're going to do that, open up these photo flaps, and we're going to put a piece right in the center here. Move that out of the way again. Okay, so are you guys ready? Okay, so for that middle section, we're using this piece with that postage on the left side. We do have some trimming to do. I'm just going to ink this edge up first. We're going to be adding one of those 3.5 by 4.5 frames in there. So we want to, on this one, we are going to trim these two flowers, the two white flowers here. And we need to trim a little bit of this butterfly to be able to add that. Actually, that mat is a different size, but
Yeah,
it's not
like
as,
big.
what size is that mat? Looks narrower. Let's see if I can grab my ruler that I dropped. I mean, we can make this one work, or you can cut, well, we can use that somewhere else. It's actually 3 by 5. So if you want to cut a piece 3 by 5, we can certainly do that. So it's 5 by 3. And so let's cut those flowers and that butterfly, and then we can add that in there. That one and that one. And just check to make sure my mat is going to fit in there. Whoops, wrong mat. That one. And we have to go down a little further on this flower. There we go. And then I can glue that piece down. We have a little heart that's got black stitching around it. I think that's off the 6 by 8 sheet because it's got writing on the back of it. But it's just a little pink heart with black stitching. And we're going to put that up in the corner there. And then that can be attached right in the middle of our book. Now, these two flaps we are not covering with paper. They are just photo flaps. Later, after all is said and done, if you have paper left and you want to cover them, go ahead and cover them. But for now, we're just going to attach this in the center part.
Pink part with stitches.
It's got stitches. It actually has some writing from the packaging on the back of it. If you can't find it right now, we can find it later when we come back and flip through to add the final little embellishments. So that middle section is done. We've got those flaps. We're going to be working on the right-hand side of the middle section. So again, we need a piece of this paper here with the stamp on the left, and we are trimming the butterfly down around that postage stamp. So we will put this over. Okay. Go around. Okay, so it's the butterfly on the right-hand side with the blue postage that we're going to trim around. And this will hold that 3.5 by 4.5 frame on this one.
But you're not worrying about the white flower on the left.
Let's see what it looks like. Where's my frames? You know what? It's a lot to trim, so unless we trim that frame down a bit and make it more 3 by 4. Why don't we make it more 3 by 4? Let's see, 3 by 4. And then when this is tucked in, yeah, then we can just trim a bit off the right-hand side of those white flowers. That'll look nicer. We'll cut a slit around those ones. Just because I know you all love doing this part, probably as much as I do.
There's another album they did a lot of this on.
Yes.
There's a lot of leaves and stuff. I forget.
And then I'm going to try to slide that one in. I mean, you could put any size mat you want and just trim the way you want. It doesn't have to be exactly as what I'm doing here. And then we have a flower that is it this one? Doesn't look like it. Just trying to find the flower that's going on the bottom there. It is, what's it got on there? Give me a second. I'm going to try and find what flower it is. It's the bottom of that. No, it's not that one. Do I have all my flowers trimmed? too. Oh, it is that one. Okay. So once you have that mat on there, what we're going to do, this big flower here, it's got a butterfly in the top, it's got these flowers on the bottom. We're going to cut the bottom part of it off, just across like this. And we're going to add that right to the bottom. Okay, so you can...
The little blue daisy, or did you cut the little blue daisy off?
I kept everything, so I just did one snip right at the...
Okay, yes, the daisy's on top, gotcha.
Where's it? I don't... You know what? You're asking me for flower...
It's okay, right there, that one.
Oh, yeah, that stayed at the top. You should know by now. You're talking to the wrong person. A flower is just a flower. Oh, my gosh, I'm pathetic. If we're going to keep doing 49 and market, I should probably learn all my flower names. And then that just finishes off that bottom section quite nicely. And then that's going to get added to this right-hand side here. Like that. I need to move this out of the way. Or flatten it or something. Flatten that page down so I have a good flat surface to work with. There we go. And then the last page for this section is the back of that. Which again is this piece of paper. And we have a pink envelope. And we have that 3.5 by 4.5 mat. Now the only thing that we are trimming on this one is this leaf down here. So we want to cut into that one.
Staying on, because it looks like there's smudges on the paper. And
Yeah.
it's just like the smudges that we get.
That's good. And that's the Pink Fresh Rocky Slope.
Rocky slope.
And then get our envelope ready. You know, actually, this album isn't too bad to put together when you've got all your pieces, you know, all set in front of you, ready to go. And they're so darn beautiful. So this one's going to have some stems sticking out of the envelope as well. But we'll get that envelope down first, tucked under that leaf. Okay, So that top right edge is tucked under that leaf. And then put on here. And I do stick that leaf down just so it doesn't get caught on anything. And put my 3x4, whoops, frame in there, or 3.5 by 4.5. Tuck that in there. And then I think I'm missing some leaves, I really do. Because I don't have very many. What would I have done with them all? Here we go. It's this one here. So this one again is going to look like it's coming out of the envelope. So let's attach it up here so that you can still pull your 3x4 out. So we'll attach it on this side. And it's this one, it's sort of loopy, loopy goopy. There we go. Once that page is done, it can be attached into your book. Do we need a short break before we move on to the next section?
Sure.
Yeah.
So you just attach that like under the.
Yes, let me just stick this down. So yeah, I just stuck it in, but I attached it on the left-hand side of the leaves to the actual book. Now just make sure that you are over far enough that you are not catching when you open and close this. Because I was just catching, so I had to move it over. You may need to trim your paper a little bit after.
The leaves are a little forgiving.
Yes. There we go. So that's opening and closing without catching. We'll pull our papers aside for the next section and then we'll take a 5-minute break. Can you put the kettle on? We're going to have a 5-minute break.
I have customers.
Oh, please.
I'm looking for clear gesso,
Clear gesso?
but not heavy.
There may be some over in Stamperia. There's clear gesso. Okay. Yeah, so we'll pull our papers aside for the next section because I've got to go and get us some magnets because this has a magnet in it. So I'll go and grab us some magnets. Okay, so for this section, we need, let's get those ones ready. So we have one that's got this one here. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be cutting this off. Look, it's going to go like this. Yeah, so it's going to go on the top and then we're going to flip it and this is going to be on the bottom. So we have that paper. We then have, right now one, because it's just the one piece cut. We then have the blue roses on the left side, big blue rose on the left side, which is this one here. And it's got a very light blue on the back. It's that one. We then have one that's got the blue roses on the bottom here. And that's this green stripy diagonal on there. So put that one aside. We are using 2 of those actually. 2 of those ones. Okay, I don't know if I got that one yet. I think I got that one. Then we have one that's got a bunch of flowers across the bottom, wild flowers. It's in the blues. Yes, that one. I have to find mine. There it is. So we have that one. 2 of those. And we have one that has got, is it that one? Again, another one of those light blue ones with the big blue rose here, but we are going to be flipping it upside down.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So those are the ones we're going to be using for that section. You could put your other pieces aside. We're also going to use a green envelope. Sorry. So you can put that, one of the green, here's my green ones. There's the green one. So the green one is going to go on there. We'll cut a couple more mats, but we are going to take a 5-minute break.
No.
She doesn't have a scrubby. Okay. And Lucy's back. Wah, wah, wah. All right. Get my microphone on here. Dan's handy dandy clip. There we go. So we've got all our papers aside. And anybody that knows me knows I drink a lot of tea. So this is cup number 3 today. Usually 7, 8 cups of tea a day. Oh yeah, always Tetley tea. I'm a Tetley girl. Okay, so we're going to move on to that middle section there. We've got some magnets we have to put in. We have a little bit of corner rounding to do, so I do have my corner rounder for you girls because I didn't tell you to bring one along because I'm not smart like that.
I have one already, I just forgot it today. Now I have 2. I don't know, I can't do
Now you have a backup.
Yeah, now I have a backup.
Okay, so that section's done, that section's done. Just a little bit of embellishing to do. We are moving right along. So now we are in this middle section, or second from the right section. This section is going to have our waterfall on it. And that goes fast. I can't get my pages open. All right, so we have our insides. Again, you know, let's follow the same pattern, which is your left page, your right page is under, your left page is on top, and then these 2 pages go on top here. So the first thing we want to do is let's work on the inside out. How about that? Okay. So our very, very, very base page inside this folio here, your back page, that's what we're going to work on first. So let me move that out of the way because there's just not enough room in the camera. And we're going to put 2 3x4 pictures on here, but we also need the wildflower piece. Wildflowers along the bottom, this one. And we do have a little trimming to do. So let's get our mats ready first. 2 3x4 mats. I think I've got 2 here. No, that's not a 3x4. Four by 3. And 4 by 3. So we have 2 of those ready. We are also going to need, I'm not using those pieces yet. Let me tuck them under there. Need this little best ever ticket, like that. We need good day sale ticket. Move those to the side. Find that ticket. We need this one that says 4594, and we need the best ever ticket. And then there's one that's green. It says good day sale. The best ever, but I can't find that. Not on there. I swear I'm missing some pieces. We also have this tabbed piece that looks like this. You know, I cut everything out. I punched everything out. I can't find it. I'm going to do mine without it for now. All right, so on this piece here, we need to, we are not trimming anything. So we are just going to ink it and drop it in. There's also a little flower that's from your 6x8 paper that we cut out. It's green. It's got like a little, looks like a little brad stuck in the middle of it. That all is now going to go in the middle of here. So let me take my page first. It's inked, and I'm going to stick that down, and you want to be sure that you are clear of all of your creases when you do this. So let's stick it down. And then I'm going to take all those other little pieces I had. Now, I'm not going to waste all this 4594 ticket. I'm going to actually slice it off. Just below that 4594, and then I will use that piece somewhere else. So we're going to overlap these frames a little bit. So the top one has got that little index tab above it, stuck down. Like that. I'm going to put this frame down, or this mat down. Right there. Now when I overlap this second mat, I'm not going to glue where it's overlapped so that I can still stick the picture underneath there. I am going to take that 4594 and stick it under. Like that. And there we go. And I still can't find that second ticket. So I've got the best ever ticket. So because I can't find, I'll show you what it looks like so you guys can find it. It is, whoops, see below the best ever, it says good day sale only, good day one sale only. I can't find mine. If you can't find it, it's not a problem. You can wait, attach it later after you get rid of more of your other stuff. I'm just going to use this one that says one day, and I'm going to stick it underneath there just so I can complete that. I'm going to put it that way. And the best ever. And the best ever ticket is again from the 6x8. Stick it there. And then that little flower is also from the 6x8 that you cut out. And I'm putting that one down there. And that's that inside section done.
The one that you couldn't find
Mm-hmm.
was pink.
It's a green. It's a light green. And it's got best good day sale only. I don't know where. Like I said, I mean, there's so many little pieces you cut out, and it's not a biggie. You know, and after, if you've got pieces left, you can always go back and take a look at that. Okay, so we are going to do this bottom flap next. So below this flap, the bottom flap. It's a little hard for me to show it in the screen right now. So we're going to build it off screen. Or sorry, not in the album, but off the album, and then we'll add it in. So this is going to be this paper with the big rose on the side. We have a mat that is 3x4. What did I use in this background? Piece of the butterfly. Okay. Let me see. It is matted with a piece from, nope, it's not that piece. It's got blue dot. On the back. Whoops. Can't find that piece with the blue dot on it. Well, that's bizarre. Might have been from packaging. We're not going to put a mat behind it. We're just going to do it like this. So now we need the one that's got, you know, I'm going to find a whole bunch of these pieces somewhere, because we have one that looks like this, but it's green and it says deposit ticket in box. So we want that one. Yeah, but you can use you can use just the half. Yeah, these are all going to turn up in my bag or something later. Just know it. So I'm just going to take half of this one, and I'm going to use that. And then we need a butterfly. And this is from the cluster kit, this butterfly. And we want to trim around this big rose down to the leaf. And we're going to then attach our photo mat in there. So starting at the green leaf at the top, up here, down here, down to there, to the butterfly. There we go.
including any of the butterfly, just down to the
Just to the, yeah, to the right side bottom of the leaf. Now, this could probably have a little bit, this could have the 3.5 by 4.5 mat because it's a big spot. So let's do 4.5 by 3.5 there. And then that's going to get tucked in to that rose section. And we're going to take that deposit ticket and tuck it up in the top section. Your little butterfly is going to go at the bottom, towards the bottom right. Off of this long piece here, these leaves, I'm just going to take that top 3 leaves off of there. I'm going to stick it up at the top. Just like so. And then this page will be ready to stick in the book. And again, this is going to go below that middle one. It's the next section down. And it's so hard to show all of this. So I'm going to turn it sideways so I can stick it in. And now I could flip that section back up.
So, where's this one going?
That one is going directly below the one you just placed. So on that, where you move your hand down, right there. Yep. So at the very bottom. Okay, so the next section we're going to work on is this inside left. And that's going to be, we have a rose at the very bottom. We need our green folder, 2 3x4 cards. And we have a rose, this rose at the bottom. We are not trimming anything on this one. So let's ink it up. get our pocket ready. Two 3x4 pieces. Oops. So before we stick that envelope down, on the bottom of this big, huge flower here, this wildflower, there's these 3 leaves. Pull them off. We're going to attach them behind this envelope. So they're going to be just behind there. So it's that big straggly wildflower. Yeah, at the very bottom there should be 3 green leaves. Yeah, take them. And I forgot to put my leaves under, so I'm doing it right now. And then my 2 3x4s are going to go in that envelope. And then I have a blue flower that I'm going to tuck up there. But I'm just going to glue up here so it's not interfering with the mat. And then there's another small blue flower that you can tuck onto your envelope. Actually, you can even pop this up. That's what we'll do. We will pop it. Oh, look, my bone folder. I found it.
The blue flower, is it the smaller of the 2 smaller?
It
ones?
is this one.
Oh. Yeah. I think it's like,
I'm putting the pop dot up close to the top, and then I'm tucking it there so that my mats are underneath that one. And I'm sticking that little blue flower down there. This page is going on the inside here, so not where this pocket, where the flap is, but on the left-hand side. And we will glue that one down. And then we're going to work on the right side next. Move that out of the way again.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the next is on the other side. We are going to take this file pocket, and I'm going to show you something a little different than what the instructions will show you. But let's get out our one with the blue rose on the right-hand side, like this. Now, what you can do, there's two ways you can do this. You can take this file pocket, right? Cut this section off and just use this section. Put that down, and then you are putting, I believe that will be a 4x6 photo on there. Or you can tape here, physically make it a pocket, and put your 4x6 mat on the top there and have a slide-in pocket. Totally up to you. I'm going to cut it off so that I can probably use this somewhere else later for another mat behind something. Plus, we've got so many pockets, but that's an option that you can do. And then you're also going to need a butterfly. There is no cutting or trimming on this, so we're going to cut this piece off, put it down, put a 4x6 mat on it, butterfly, and that page will be done.
So we're gonna use the dot side?
We're using the dot side. Yeah.
Down the pretty.
I know. I know.
You can make it a little flip if you want.
You can make it a flip if you want. And yeah, for sure, you can make it a flip. You can do anything that you want. Don't be limited to what I'm saying. You can, well, I mean, the butterflies are sort of going sideways. But if you don't have an issue with butterflies flying sideways. But you do have this part that you can use later. You know, you can cut that off and use that somewhere else. You know, as a little tuck-in spot, you can cut these off and just put tape on 3 sides, have a little tuck-in spot somewhere else. There's so many options that, options. So I'm going to glue that down. Whoops. And then we're going to do a 4x6 mat on top of it. Right there.
Oh, you're fine.
4x6. It's going on the center of that piece. And you'll have embellishments left after we're finished that you can put anywhere you want, use up the leftover pieces. You know, in the waterfall, we're not actually covering the pages, so, you know, you may want to put, you could put a solid cardstock on them or see how much paper is left. And then we've just got this little butterfly tucked up in the corner there. And that's from the cluster kit. I have clutter on my table, that's why it's on my mind.
That was a big mat. How big was that mat?
4x6. And that piece, again, is glued on the opposite side of the middle. So it's on the right-hand side. We're going to leave this very middle flap until the end. So we're going to do these outside, the outside left, the outside right. On the outside left, we need the one with the blue roses in the bottom.
I'm sorry.
Yep,
Go back to that last
sure.
page. I seem to, is the big rose on the right-hand side?
On this
Like
page?
the paper's upside down?
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay.
Yep, it is.
I missed something. Okay.
We like to roll that way sometimes, you know?
Side of this one, yes.
So now we need our big, big rose on the bottom section, which is this one. We need our green envelope and a 3x4 mat. We need that squiggly wildflower, that one we're going to use. And we will be cutting on this one. And then, so this one, you okay there? Okay. So this one we are cutting around this leaf down like that, just to there. And then this should be able to slide in. So we'll get that trimming done. Trim, trim, trim. So that should be good for me to tuck that card in. Tape on there. Oops, taped on the wrong side. And tuck that, actually, does that one look darker? Doesn't matter. They all work. I need to trim that piece a little bit more. There we go. And that piece gets tucked under there, like that. We okay, ladies? And then I'm tucking a 4x3. You can tuck a bigger piece in there if you want. And then these stems are just sticking out. These wildflowers.
It's on the right side, right? Right side,
On the,
outside.
yep, I will be right there with you. Just want to stick some of that down. Bottle was just getting a little gummy on the top. Okay, so this is going, oops, close that up. This is going on this side here. So on the left side here. Okay, there's your flap part, which we're going to do at the end. Okay, so we're going to go to the far right side now and do that before we do the center part. So this does not have anything cut. It is the wildflowers. So it's this piece. We've got we have this piece here we're going to be attaching to it. I'll give you guys a second. Won't get too far ahead on you. And then we have 2 of these tickets. Yeah, or stamps, sorry. Use the right words, Heather. Smarten up. We have,
I put my other one on the wrong side, so. You said right side.
So this last one, right or left?
hold on.
Sorry, my apologies.
No, not a problem. It's on the left. If you have it on the other side, it doesn't matter. It all matches, you know, and that's the nice thing. There's never any mistakes in this. So yeah, so we have these little stamps, and then we have that best ever ticket. So we have that. We have this tulips. We have this. There's a little circle of, it says treasured memories with a butterfly in it. There's a big one, but there's a smaller one as well. There's the big one. So yeah, we have this best ever. So I got to find the small one of this, if I can. What, that best ever circle? I don't think we did.
I got the bigger one, but
Yeah. Oh, you know what? No, it's not, because this says the very best. I was going to say maybe it was just trimmed down, but it's not. If we can't find it, we'll come back to it.
there was a small circle with a pink butterfly that we used way back in the first section.
This one doesn't have a pink butterfly, it's got the green. Unless it's off of something else. Trying to see if it was trimmed off of a paper or something. We'll come back to that. We'll just get the rest of it ready. So we're going to put a 3x4 photo. It's stuck on the top, so it doesn't really matter. The best ever ticket is going to go under that tulip piece, but the stamps are going to go on top of your 3x4 mat. So let's ink her up first. It's actually been a crazy week in the store. I think poor Diana Monday had like 22 people through. Dan on Tuesday had 18. Like it's, yeah, I thought it would be slow. Yesterday was fairly slow, which is unusual for a Friday, but you
But
just,
it was a crappy weather start.
everybody was, yeah, I think everybody stayed in their PJs and said, I'm not going out.
I did not. I had to teach at 8 o'clock.
Well, I was in Norwich, so I had to go out. Okay, so this is just going to have a 3x4 mat in the center of this one. So I'm going to put down my little ticket first, my best ever. Stick that to the side. Then that one. My 3x4. And again, if you want to use a bigger size mat, totally up to you. And then these tickets, or sorry, these stamps are going to go over to the side. I'm going to have them a little bit over the top of the mat, so I don't want to put glue down that right side. Just the left. And then when we find that circle, we'll put that circle on. It is here somewhere. Now that piece is going on. So we have this on the left side. That's done. Now this is going right there. And then the only piece we have left to do is that middle flap section where we're going to add a magnet. Put that in. Sometimes I do find it hard seeing the white against the white to see if I'm centered, you know, on my page. So there we go. Now, it's going in the last section. So there is, actually, you were right, Charlotte, we did need 2 of that pinky flower one because we're using 1 whole sheet on the base. And then this one will be on the top.
The front and the back of
Yeah.
the flap, right?
Yeah. Now, the inside of the flap is, which paper is it?
Is it the back of this one? 'Cause you got
This one.
this, right? Oh, okay.
Which one? This one? No.
Well, we put this one at the top, on the front of the flap, right?
Right.
You don't put that on the back of the flap because you got half a piece left?
No, because it matches. If you see, when this is open and that flap is open, that flap matches this paper. So we use the top section of this one that says LaForge. So I will tell you what size to cut that. So you need that cut, and then you need this bottom piece cut as well. I'll give you the measurement. It is, how big did we cut it? 3 by 6, and then we round the corners.
So the one that says LaForge on it.
Yeah, it says LaForge on the top.
Yep.
So that one is going to be
3 by 6.
3 inches by 6 inches. Oh, it is 6 inches, so it's just cutting 3 inches. And then that floral one is 3 inches off the
We're
bottom.
taking it off the top, the piece
With the LaForge, yeah. And then the other one is 3 inches. And where did I put, oh, right there. So, on your pink flowers, you will corner round the bottoms, like that.
3 inches. Yep, that's fine.
And then on your LaForge one, you're going to corner round the top. And you guys can take this and use that. And I'm going to ink those up. Okay. Whoops. So for these two pieces, before we put the LaForge down, we need to put a magnet under that, on the inside of that flap. And we have this piece that's going on the bottom. And for that, we need to put the other end of the magnet there. So let's get our magnets out first. And figure out about where we want those magnets. So I always put a little piece of score tape on both sides of my magnets. Like that. And then I take the tape off one side. If I can get it to go. Need my pokey tool here. There we go. 20 minutes to take the score tape off. There we go. And I'm going to just eyeball centering it under that LaForge, down about half an inch. Then I take the top part off the score tape. If I can do that. Turn. And then I stick them down, open it up, and now I know the exact placement for both sides. So now I can put my LaForge paper down there, and then I want this paper on the bottom. Okay, then when I close it, this piece is going on the top. It's so beautiful. Oh, I just love it. So on the inside is the LaForge. This goes on the bottom. I dropped a big glob of glue. There we go. And then that folds over. How nice and neat it is. We're into the stretch, girls. But how nice you're going to have it finished, completed, and where else would you want to be then with us? Darlene, did Dan show you all the new Stamperia?
No.
Tell him you need to see the stamps and the welcome home paper.
Okay.
Yes?
If you have a minute, I don't understand.
Okay, just give me a couple of minutes here and I'll be with you. So that section's all done. How beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 1, 2, 3, Waterfall. And this one, where did we use those? I'm missing, oh, no, it's not on there. It's on the back of that, okay. There's so many sections of this that it's hard to keep track. So let me put that in. The welcome home and the new stamps as well.
They're over on the wall. Stamps are over here.
It's okay. It's all good. Now, where would I have put this piece? That is here. That is there. And that is there. Okay. I just need to find my foundation pieces with the, oh boy. Oh, I don't know if I have them. Well, that would not, whoops, that would not be good. Let me see. Oop, I found another flower. What's these? Yeah, we're going to take a 5-minute in 2 seconds. You got yours?
Yeah.
Oh, I put mine together. And look, here's the extra pieces. But what did I do with the actual piece that I had made? Well, that's just not smart. Okay, I may have to just walk through that waterfall because I don't know where I put mine. Well, that's just bizarre. So before we do the waterfall, we'll do this flap and this flap. And then the waterfall, it's easy, so I will just, there's really just 2 pieces of paper on there. I'll take yours for a second and I'll flip through it and then we'll do that. Okay, so.
Yeah, because we haven't done the outside, right?
Yeah, this side here is your door.
Right.
And then you have nothing on the very, very back. But we have this side, and the waterfall.
Right.
So what we need is, for this side, we need that paper that looks like planks.
Yep.
That's going to go. Where is it? That one. We also have that rose heart, that nice big heart we're going to add. And we are going to add in this frame. The 2 tickets that were, or 2 stamps that were left from what we cut off. And we will put down the frame on there right away. And then we need this little rose. Need some leaves. And again, I don't know where all my leaves have gone.
Only have one left.
You only have one left? I still haven't found that circle piece.
No, I didn't either.
It's here somewhere. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using. We'll add 2 sets of leaves in there. The very back is easy. We just have this big pocket to put on. And then the waterfall. Okay, so let's take 5 minutes. They didn't have them yet when I got the order, so they're in now. But this is a new one, this is a new one. This is a new one, look at that.
I know. I got it.
Oh, and the
Last time I
die
was in
cuts as well didn't come in, they're coming.
Oh, okay.
I know, it was like,
I need the die cuts. Did you put in fruit and
ephemera?
ephemera and fruit?
No, they were out, so I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you
I
let me
keep
know?
watching them, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I got
Bunch
the
of
paper
people
stuff.
didn't get them.
No,
And,
I wanna-
yes, and so when I went on, they were out, so I'm watching every day.
That's great.
And there's another new Stamperia line just coming right now, Dreams, I think it's called.
Okay.
So it's blues and,
Oh, good, 'cause
kinda
I
beachy.
started. I know.
yeah, that's her welcome.
Yep.
So you got some of the ephemera already?
Yes, I did.
Where'd you get it?
I got it from, Minnie's Napkins. They had a thing coming, because I was in here and I couldn't find it, you didn't have it, so I just ordered it. So, what do I use for this? This is clear,
Yeah,
I want something white.
you want white.
White.
Well, white gesso would work.
I only have clear,
Here's white.
okay?
Or
That's what-
even texture paste.
Okay,
You want white texture paste?
sure.
Now,
Thank you.
you know, we've been using the Simon Hurley, eh? Have you seen those? So this here, this lunar paste, so I use this in the background and then the lunar paste matches and I put it through the stencil. I have to bring my book back so people can see what it looks like, cause it's so cool. I did the pink.
Do you have the Stamperia paint for the new one?
For Create Happiness 2,
Yeah.
I probably have the colors that they used.
Okay, sorry, Dan.
In that kit. Yeah, I can't find anything in this one. No, I had a piece, oh, you know what, my sister's the classic. A piece that I did with the lunar paste, cause she's like, you gotta show me how to do it. Yeah, I don't know what colors, exact colors are in it. But we've got like this, we've got this, we've got the gray, we've got, blue.
No, I have it up in case.
It's handy because it's got
Well,
the
you
pictures.
should. Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
all of these colors are there or not, so you'd have to take a look there. Okay, so we'll do those two, and then I'll grab that from you for a second, just so you
Yeah.
can see it blank, and then I'll give it back to you,
Yeah.
and we'll assemble that. Okay, because I don't know, pardon?
Because I just took the table.
Oh, did you do that
No.
page already? You
No.
haven't put that page together
No,
yet,
she's
the one
gonna do
that's
that
on
first.
the
No,
screen.
that's what we're gonna do right now.
Okay.
Okay. So this section of the waterfall is also in your little bag. Oops, so let's get started again properly. Hook my little microphone back on. Whoops. I have to say whoops every time I try to put it on. So this is, let me move that over to the side. When we open our book, right here. Okay, so that's the section we're going to do right now. So let's ink up our page, and then we're going to go into that bag of goodies because we're going to need one of the ribbons for the waterfall.
And did you just rip apart one of the bows? Is that what you did for the ribbon?
Just undid it.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, so inked that one. Now, we are using one of these frames here. So it is sticky, so we want a piece of paper that's going to fit behind it. So it's going to be like, see, I move and then I can't find my ruler now. Oh boy. No comment, he said. There it is. I put it away safely. So we want to have a piece of paper that's going to be like 2 1/4 by 2 and just over 2 1/4. So actually if we do 2/8, do 3/8, 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. It's just enough to stick underneath this frame. Even if you want to take a piece and trim it down after, you can do that. See, I'm just sticking a piece of paper there. I'll trim that edge off. However it works for you.
Is it for a photo mat?
Yeah. There we go. So before we stick that down though, we want to stick this newsprint type paper down in the center.
And again, you're using this paper upside down, right?
I am not.
No?
I am actually turning it the right
Okay,
way.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, it doesn't take much.
And then we're going to put this frame down. Now, before you actually stick it all the way down, take one of the little clothes pegs. Take a blue one or green, doesn't matter. And this is all in the cluster kit. We're going to use it to hold our little tickets or stamps. Keep wanting to call them tickets. So I actually want to attach it behind the newsprint so that I'm going to put a little bit of glue there and it's going to hold it in place. We put our heart down first, then we're going to put that down, then we're going to put that frame down. Okay? So let's tuck that one down. I love this heart. And that piece down. Now, before we put our frame all the way down, let's tuck a couple of leaves there and then put the frame kind of on top of those leaves, like that. I'm actually going to bring it down a little bit. Any which?
White paper. I think we're out of
Here we go.
these. Okay.
Some more here too.
Yours, 'cause we're probably gonna need some more.
Yeah. And then I'm going to take a few more leaves and tuck it on that side, and this rose is going to be up on the frame. And rose up there. Oh, that is not on that side, it's on the other side. So when you guys are ready to stick it in, it's not here, it's here. Okay? So when this opens up,
So the last flap before you open it. Totally.
correct, yeah. And then,
It's good, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's nice to be able to see her, what she's doing, as well as,
I'd like to know it's doing lots of
well,
things.
you said it.
I know.
he'll pay for it.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
You want me to make you dinner? Yeah, so that's getting stuck on that inside. So we'll do this part and then we'll do that waterfall. This part is just, what did I do here? Oh, that's one solid piece, I think. Okay, where is that piece now? It's not those. Is it those? Bear with me as I try to figure out what that last page is. In here. There she be, right there. This page is just this flap.
Oh,
It's going right in there. Easy breezy.
and it's just going right there.
Right there. Right smack dab. can I do for you?
Are you talking to all the people that are gonna be watching you or me?
I'm talking to the world. Okay. The waterfall. So your waterfall. So somehow I've managed to forget my waterfall, and this is the problem when you're not organized. I was organized, but I have no idea where it is. It's here somewhere. So we're going to show you with this one how the waterfall is going to go. We're going to wait for the girls to be ready. That piece. Now, because I reversed my butterflies earlier, your instructions will show the butterflies on the right. My butterflies are on the left. Now, before this gets attached down, this piece needs to be trimmed off here so it's smooth across the top. All right? On this outside, you're going to be putting these butterflies. So once that's trimmed off, but before you glue it down, you need to take one of these bows and pull it apart. Actually, you're going to use 2 bows. And one piece is going to go under here. Now, if you wanted, you could put holes and you could use these elastic things with the grommets, but in this case, we use the ribbons. So you have 2 different options there with the cluster kit. So what we're going to do, and as I said, I'm not doing it, but I'll put my sample up here in a second. So on the front of this, you're putting your butterfly page, but you're putting your ribbon underneath first in the center, okay? Once that edge is done, on this inside, and I'll go through it again, you are putting this paper, whoops, right there. And because we've already made the waterfall, we don't have to worry about anything on there other than one piece of paper to cover in here. And what was used there was this piece that was left over, just tucked in there. All right? Now, later if you want, if there's paper left over, you could cover up these waterfalls. You can even put, a piece in the center here if you like. Totally up to you. So I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to give this back to you, and then I will flip through page by page while you guys are making it. So just cut that off so that it's even, Stephen.
I have a little lab at
No,
the
you must have
top.
cut it off because I think...
No, I used it to attach it underneath.
Oh, did you? Okay, that's fine.
How did you attach it otherwise?
They both, there was 2. They both had a tab.
Oh,
Yeah, we just cut it off so it didn't add thickness, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to show you once again from my real sample, the one that's completely done. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, so let's do this again. Let me bring this over. All right, So on the top part of your flap, it's not really a flap. Well, yeah, it's a flap, but it doesn't have a fold over flap. On this part here, you're putting a set of butterflies. But before you put the butterflies down, adhere one of the bows that you've taken apart. You're actually going to take both of them apart, both of the teal ones apart. So attach that in there and put that down. Let me know when you guys are done that, and then I'll show you the next part. That piece. Got her glued down?
I got the one piece.
This piece?
This piece, yes.
Okay. Oh, super. Okay. Then we open it up. And on the bottom panel here, we're putting this piece right in there. Right there. We probably have 15 more minutes and we'll be done.
Okay, that's all.
Yep. Yeah, we're just going to add a few of the embellishments in and then we're done.
The instructions have all the pictures anyways.
Yes, they do.
Finish the
Yeah.
embellishment.
And I'll flip through it as well one last time on the camera so that you can also review it there if you like. Now, this flower actually here should have a photo mat. You see? I think I've lost my... So this flower you could trim there if you like, or you could just put it flat and add a smaller frame in there. Either way will work. So we've got those two pieces.
Remember which one? Forgot.
And once you're finished that, once your flap is open, lift up your waterfall and then this piece is going right in there. So you can ink that up and stick it down. And then I have a little heart there. But you can do whatever you want. And that goes there. Once you have those pieces in, you can then add your ribbon to the back side of the waterfall and then attach it in. And then that's that waterfall done. No other embellishments needed in there. let me know when you're ready for the next section. Yep, just glue it down and
So now we can glue the whole thing down?
glue that whole waterfall down into your book now.
All right,
Yep.
so there's no paper underneath it on the back?
Nope.
It's just going flat?
Flat, flat.
Score tape on this one.
There's a die out front. It's a flower that's got holes that they've embroidered through. Do you know which one I mean? It's on a card. Oh, okay, I'll ask him.
It would be a spellbinders. If we have it, it'll be up in the front.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're going to take this gingham paper and we want to cut one strip that is 1 7/8. 1 4 7/8. I think that's the measurement.
Green game?
Yes.
Is that vertically?
Yeah,
The short
vertically.
direction or the long direction?
The long direction, because this is going to be our covering our spines.
Okay, gotcha.
And then we need another one cut. How big is that one? Looks like 1 1/4. Try that. 1 1/4. For the next section. Yep. And then the last section, let's 1 1/4. Yep. And then that last piece is going to be 1 5/8. Sorry, not 1 5/8, 5/8.
Just 5/8.
The last one, yep. Okay, and we'll ink them up, and then I'm going to show you where we'll put those. Now, when you open up your book completely, the biggest piece is going in the spine right there. Then the middle-sized piece is going in the spine right there. And then the smallest piece is going right there. You've got two butterfly pages left. We want to cut 2 inches, so they're going to go on either end when your book is closed. So we want those butterflies, and yes, we're not going to get all of the butterflies, but that's the size we're going to use, 2 inches.
Not a whole lot of paper left, eh?
There is not.
You said 2 inches on the butterfly side.
Yes, and you need 2 of them. Now the back of your album, if you prefer to leave it white, you can leave it white. I find white marks up really easily, so I just took a piece of this paper and attached it to the back, just to cover it, which means you have 1 and about 2 sheets of paper left.
I actually, one of my sections I didn't glue down, I flipped up, so I have a section in the middle that I need 2 pages for.
There you go. So that'll work. But I'm going to attach mine to the back because I do like that. And then I will show you, we'll do attach the front cover. And then I will show you the other embellishments. I think we got most of them in there, but there's a couple we didn't put in because they would have been bulky to try to work on the kit. Good job, though. So that's attached onto there. Flip it to the front now. Make sure I am in the front, not on the back or upside down, because I'm known to do that. And then I'm going to attach that to the front.
So these pieces are for both ends?
Both ends. You got it. And then we'll attach that to the front. There we go. It is so beautiful. Now I know we need 2 of these frames. So let me know once you've got that attached and we'll just flip through to see where else we needed to add something. Oh, that's right, we need that. That page is done.
I'm gonna get, you said you had another packet of paper.
Yes, ma'am. So let me show you, well, just a couple of places on the inside. Okay, so when you open up your front cover now, you're looking at your window frame. Okay, flip it open. You've got your pocket on the left side. On this section here that we didn't put anything, take a piece of this that you have left over and cut it to 4 by 4. And we want to stick that down on there. We then have as well one of these tickets that we can tuck underneath. And we have 2 flowers. We have this greeny one and this pinky rose. This stem here, just cut it in half or rip it, whichever, and just put one over the other. And we're going to stick that down on top as well. And then a green ticket that I can't find, so I'm just going to use what I would love to know where all those pieces disappeared to. I'm going to blame Scruffy. Scruffy's fault. Okay, so let's stick this green piece down first. So it's a 4 by 4 square. That down right there. And I'm going to stick a little ticket underneath. I'm going to put this ticket down here. Whoops, underneath that edge, like that. I'm going to put these 2 pieces that I ripped apart, one on top of the other. Let's stick one down. Stick the other one. And then I have these 2 flowers. One there, one there. And the last thing on this page is the little green heart from your sheet here. In the corner. Got it? That blue one? Yeah. Anyone will do.
Here somewhere.
Oh, I'm telling you, you're going to find all these pieces after we're done. Now, when you flip open this page, we've got another blank page. We want to put those 2 frames in. This is the day, this. So this section in the middle here, once you're done that, you need 2 of the frames from here and put some paper in the background of it. Let me trim it down. Just like that. If I could find my scissors. Because now they're gone. Yeah, so we want 2 of these frames. And we're going to have one a little bit overlapping the other one, so you might want to put a pop dot underneath it once we get them off of there. There is one other flower that is in the background of it. It's this big one. Remember we cut off the piece? at the bottom. We're going to stick that up there. And then we're just going to put the 2 frames, and we have a blue clip, and today is the day, or this is the day, and 1 green ribbon. Or 1 green bow. Okay, so I'm just going to stick a piece of paper on the back of this one. There we go. So I'm going to stick that flower down first. Tuck that in. You guys with me? So this one I just want to put a couple of pop dots on the back at the top section. And a bow. So pretty. Okay, so that side is complete now. So this section, let's just flip it over. On this page, we just want to attach a peg with a stamp or a tag, anything at all. I don't have any tickets left, so I can attach this onto there. It's a little big, but if you want, you can also attach like a small stamp, but I'm going to put that on there. I'm actually going to tuck it like that underneath that leaf. Totally up to you. Do you see what page it is? Okay. Sticking that down. We have our ticket stuck on this one, so that's good. That's done, that's done. All that middle section's done. Whoops, it's on the top. On the top. That's done. That's all done for you guys, not for me. That's all done. Now, we never did find that circle, or I didn't.
No, I never did either.
So I'm going to put that big one on there. Oh, and there is, the other thing is one of these cotton things again. This is on your inside flap. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to pop this one up though. Shouldn't interfere with the magnets. It's going to turn up somewhere really strange. You just know it.
You're fine.
Oops.
Beautiful thing.
Isn't it? So that's down there, and I think that's the only, I think we got everything else, girls. That,
What's the secret to tying these ribbons?
it's all in the way you hold your tongue.
They're not gonna slip, they're not gonna be very, subtle, are they? Pretty much have to have the bow on the top of it.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. So that's it. Kit and caboodle, all done. Beautiful thing. You do have, you know, some extra embellishments there if you want to add them in. You know, as I said, you've got these file pockets too. If you want to add those in somewhere or save them for another project. But it's a beaut. Flip, flip, flip. Flip it and close it. So I just have to add the waterfall into this one and mine will be done when I find the waterfall. How did we put your window on? Because we may be able to take it up with undo. Do you have undo?
It's just fine. I
don't know how I-
do have undo at home, yeah.
Yeah, because you can switch them if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
Okay.
didn't think.
I did mine just according to the directions in the package.
Right. Heather doesn't always.
Follow the directions.
I try. So we are done. That is it. Good project completed. Yay.